Hey everyone, Scott of the Scott Man, and we are here in the town of Terezin, located about an hour north of Prague. It's a fortified town which was originally built back in the 18th century during the days of the Austrian Empire. However, the town is more infamously known for being a huge Jewish ghetto / concentration camp during World War II, during the Holocaust. Terezin is a fortified town built in the 1780s during the days of the Austrian Empire and was designed to keep out the Prussians. In 1941, the Nazis kicked out the 7,000 residents and brought in 58,000 Jews and locked them inside the town. Terezin functioned as a Jewish ghetto as well as a transit camp before many were later shipped out to the worst camps such as Auschwitz in 1944. The Nazis deceived Red Cross inspectors by calling it a self-governed Jewish resettlement area, where Jews were portrayed to live a normal life. So in this video, we're going to first head over to the small fortress over that way, and then we'll come back into the fortified town and check out the other sites around here. Just east of Terezin is a small fortress which was originally used as a prison by the Austrian monarchy, but later became more infamously known as a Gestapo prison during World War II. Most of the prisoners here were not Jews, but were prisoners of war. As you enter the compound, head to the right, and you will see the third courtyard. This was established in June 1942 as a prison for women. This is the location of mass cells, as well as solitary cells, a sick room, a washroom, and a bathroom. Guided tours will take you around the former prison and show you where many prisoners were housed. Also located here was the cell of Gavrilo Principe, who was imprisoned here by the Austrians in World War I. Principe was the one who assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo back in 1914. Principe died of tuberculosis here in 1918. Other courtyards, including the fourth courtyard, give you more opportunities to give you a perspective on how bad things were here. Outside of the fortress is the National Cemetery, where the remains of around 10,000 victims of Terezin remain. As we enter back into the fortified town of Terezin, we enter the Ghetto Museum, which features exhibits talking about how Terezin was involved in the Holocaust, along with historical documents and items which once belonged to inmates in Terezin. Also included have some memorials for the many children who unfortunately lost their lives here at Terezin. The next major site in Terezin is the Magna Barracks. Inside, you will see how inmates lived here during their imprisonment here by gazing upon the restored women's dormitory. At its peak, the average lodging space for one person was around 1.65 square meters. Unlike the more infamous concentration camps, most inmates died at Terezin due to disease, malnutrition, or even execution. While being held here, Jews entertained themselves by putting on plays, writing, or creating art. Looking at the art here gives you a first-hand look on what life was like for the Jews in Terezin. As you enter or leave the fortified town of Terezin from the south, while looking at the walls and the moat around the town, you will notice some old railroad tracks. The tracks, built by the inmates, were mainly for show, as they were actually laid out about 2.4 kilometers away or 1.5 miles away and had to walk into Terezin. Just outside the town is the Columbarium. Inside the Columbarium was where the Nazis placed cardboard boxes filled with ashes of dead prisoners. Across the road are the memorial halls and the morgue. This chamber here was where loved ones got to pay their last respects. Continuing in here are the ceremonial halls, as well as the morgue. Walking further to the south from Terezin is the crematorium, along with the Jewish cemetery, which before bodies were cremated, the dead bodies were buried here in the cemetery. This building here is the crematorium, which is where the dead bodies from Terezin were cremated. But yeah, this has been quite a very interesting experience. It's like, because I learned a lot about the Holocaust when I was growing up, especially like in middle school, and I think a little bit in high school too. But I know like Terezin was not really talked about because we learned all about like the really bad places like Auschwitz and also like Berg and and Dachau. But yeah, but as I was saying in the video, Terezin was basically, it was considered to be a Jewish ghetto / concentration camp, but it was also served not only as that, but also a transit camp when prisoners were eventually sent out east to like Auschwitz, for example, for extermination. Although this was a lot more depressing than many of my travel videos, this stuff like this is very important to learn, because if you don't learn from history, history is bound to repeat itself. That's why I encourage every one of you to pay close attention to a lot of the events that have happened in the past, or even events happening right now, so that way you don't repeat any monstrosities again in the future. When it comes to history, you can learn so much from just reading a book or a textbook in school, but there's more to learning about history than just reading a book or even watching a YouTube video. You have to go out and experience history for yourself. Check out all the different museums and different sites, whether they're pleasant experiences or more depressing ones. That way you get the true experience. So when you're visiting Prague or here in the Bohemian area of the Czech Republic, you definitely have to check out Terezin. It's truly an eye-opening experience. Thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out.